Well, hey folks, FatGuyFliesRC. All right, this is the third flight ever, and what I normally do, if it's any kind of brilliant plane, I try to do a speed run on a lot of my planes. So we're going to take this plane up now and give you a speed run just to see what kind. Now this is a stock, everything's stock. The only thing I have modded is I put zip ties on the end of the elevator connections to reinforce that fuel tubing, because them little plastic pins are what connects to the ailerons and the uppers and lowers, and that's the only thing I've modded. I haven't even given her a clear coat, and I'm running just a regular version 2 SMC 5206S. They're HCl, they're regular lipos, not their high voltage packs. They're regular lipos. All right, we'll make sure we got a GNS performance analyzer inside there. Stock prop, everything's stock. So this is what you get out of the box. This is a regular 6S lipo. Okay, I do have thrust reversing engaged, but that comes with the plane. Okay, and we are reading. So wind is out of the due east. So we're going to turn around, take off into the east, then go back down to the west, and we're going to fly into the east wind, and as fast as possible into the east wind to give you a performance run. You turn around here, and then we're going to take it up in a hard dive with the wind from the east just to see how fast we can make it go. No, that's not performance, that's just for fun. All right, then we'll finish flying the plane for fun, because otherwise, why would you be out here? Here we go. All right, I'll take it up over here.
AS3X mode.
Okay.
Time remaining 7 minutes.
All right. Full speed into the wind. Kind of rising there into the wind, but that's because this wind is not purely down the runway. It's kind of a cross breeze, but that's okay too. Might want to work a little bit of rudder into your turn. All right. Biplanes can be notoriously hard for landing because you've got to try your best to land it in a 3-point landing the best you can. Try to get that tail to touch the same time as your mains, and that will negate an awful lot of that bounce. Not perfect, and it's easier, much easier said than done.
Motor off. Pet
okay.
PITTS. It likes it.
Motor off. Pet the PITTS. It likes it. All right. Stop. Read. All right. 151 feet and 60 mile an hour. 60 mile an hour. You got those two great big wings, so you're got a lot of drag there. All right. Going to start. And we are reading. Okay. Now, take it up into a hard dive with the wind just to see how fast we can make the PITTS go. I'm thinking 85 mile an hour. And if I'm right, then I'll be very happy. But as always, you're going to want to take off into the wind if at all possible. Okay. Remember, let that tail rise and drive your plane.
Time remaining 6 minutes.
I just realized I was flying earlier. I was just in the manual mode. All right, hard dive, full speed. All right, let me get turned around here. And of course, if you want to land into the wind if at all possible too. That gives you the most control. I wonder why she seemed kind of wonky earlier. Didn't have the gyro turned on. I was flying in manual mode, but that's okay. She did just fine. That's 2 landings for the price of 1. Keep hearing things behind me, but that wind is carrying an echo. I might have broke 85 miles an hour. She picked up some speed there. Oh yeah.
Cruise mode.
She's got reverse thrust too.
Motor off. Pet the PITTS. It likes it.
Motor off. Pet the PITTS. It likes it. Stop. Read. Haha! 101! 101 mile an hour. Not bad. I didn't think I could get this PITTS over 100 mile an hour. 101. Right there. Let me show you the proof. I got to focus on it. Y'all got that? You see? 101. All right. Now, with a GNS Performance Analyzer, you want to go to your phone app, okay? And then there's an option here to turn it off. And it's going to ask you a question. Yes, you want to turn it off and then close the app on the phone. The reason you want to do that is because otherwise the app will continue to search for that signal, and it keeps draining the battery on the device. Now, don't turn off right away. It takes about 30 seconds and it'll finally turn off. And that way you charge it once and you can come out and do 30 or 40 tests before you need to charge it up again. It just has a little USB or C plus charging, like a C plus or whatever that C one.
Motor ready.
All right, we've still got 5 minutes, so let's take this bad boy up and have a little more fun with her. Hate to waste the battery just for that. All right, but we are going to have to be leaving pretty quick. Got a lot of things to do still today. All right, get on that center line, let that tail get up and drive your plane.
Time remaining 5 minutes.
A little bit of a knife edge here. See if we can't pull off a touch and go here. I love the iconic profile this plane has as it flies. There, a little tap and go there. There, nice little roll there. Nothing too shabby or fancy.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
Very like hardly any pressure needed to maintain inverted. Take it up. Almost just about hover there. Actually, I was hovering. Beautiful plane.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
Bring her by and do some nice close by passes. Go out here, we're going to turn around, come back down the runway, full speed. Pick it up. All right. I love the red and white on this plane.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
Get ourselves another touching. Actually, no, we're going to land it this time. There we go. That's what I'm looking for right there. All right, we're going to do what you shouldn't do is take off with the wind. More than enough power to turn out of that. Wing over. Sloppy one.
Time remaining 1 minute.
Oh, that was so sloppy. But I got so much wind pushing me.
Well, that's okay. You didn't catch your finger.
Well, here, we'll try it again.
You might want to let me get back in view. There we go.
I'll try it again now. There we go. All right, let's get her turned around and get her landed. Check the battery and go over the rates.
30 seconds.
Whew, wind kicked up.
20 seconds.
Yeah, go around. If I would have stayed with it, I would have had a terrible bounce. So go around.
Timer expired.
Try it again. There we go. A little more of a greaser that time.
Braking. Cruise motor off. Pet the PITTS. It likes it.
All right, we were 23 seconds over
Timer reset.
on a 7.5 minute timer. So 7 minutes and 53 seconds. Let me show you my rates real quick. Flew in my high rates the entire time. Ailerons 100%, 40% expo. Elevator 100%, 40% expo. Rudder 100% but with 50% expo. All right. AS3X settings are one-time gains. Gains are on roll, pitch, and yaw 34, 44, and 60. Priority 112 on roll, pitch, and yaw. Stop, did anything with heading. Stop lock all at 50 on roll, pitch, and yaw. Didn't do anything when I left the release rate at the default rates. All right, gains are one-time gains. Let me show you a few things about the plane, and one thing you must do in case you've never seen this plane or anything about it, which then you haven't been around the RC world very much because this is kind of an infamous plane. Number one, this is a must mod. Now normally this hatch would be completely flat here, okay? I got a piece of hard RC plywood or balsa or something there, and then just a piece of a crashed plane, just a structure from inside gear mount or something. and just something, a hard piece of foam, some balsa wood, angle, something lightweight that brings the lip down about 1.5 inches beyond the end of that tongue and groove part of that battery canopy. And the reason for that is the way the system is in this plane. If you look, there's a battery tray there, okay? That battery tray is held in by just 2 little bitty plastic nipples, okay? And when you keep pulling this battery tray out, okay, see these little plastic nipples here on either side?
You see?
Here and here, there and there, there and there. Well, that's all that's holding this big old heavy battery from suddenly sliding backwards. Okay, and notice where I've got it at. There's the end of the battery where you pull out. This is the back of the battery that goes in the plane. I got it pretty much even. That gets my CG just perfect, okay? You just have to trust me on that. CG is even with this structure here, right underneath the wing. I got 2 glue marks right here. Look for that, and then just put your finger right there, but underneath, and that's where you got your CG. All right. But anyways, back to this battery mod. If you don't do that, then this great big heavy bat, after 30 or 40 flights, those little nipple theirs are going to wear off, and then suddenly you're out there flipping around, and this battery thing is going to slide backwards the back of this tray, and you're going to have a very abrupt, horrible CG shift in your CG. Now, when you put this in there with no battery in it, listen to this sound. Okay, listen. But when the battery's in, you hardly hear that. That tells you that battery's pulling them pins away from the connection points. And so you can kind of hear a small amount of a click when the battery's in it, but as over time, that click's going to get less and less and less, and that battery's just going to stay in there just by gravity, but it's already leaning. And the only thing that's going to save it and save your plane is that structure, because otherwise, this battery's going to slide right past it, right past this, and go straight to the back of your plane, and you're going to have a very bad day. All right, you're going to think, how come my $320 plane is now a pile of foam? This is just something, you got to remember, FMS already made these planes a long time ago. All right, so they're not going to go back and open the boxes back up and redo them, okay? If they come out with a version 3, hopefully they'll give you some sort of locking mechanism or something to keep. This is already the version 2. It's a great flying plane, okay? That's the only real defect. Now, after over 7 minutes, I still got 60%. So honestly, the way I was flying, you could set your timer for 10 minutes. That is a 5200 HCL SMC pack. That's the regular lipos, okay? And I got 101 mile. I guarantee you, if I put a 5000 HIV on one of their high voltage packs, okay, put it in there with that wind, I bet you I'd get 110 mile an hour, maybe 115 with one of them packs, maybe a 4000, okay, a little bit lighter of a pack. One thing you do need to pay attention to, I noticed that when I was flying after the maiden. Watch this cowl. Make sure this cowl it's just a hard plastic cowl. Make sure it's glued on there good, because if it's not, it'll vibrate forward and get into the back of your prop, and you'll think, what's that grinding sound? Well, that's that cowl, especially if you use a lot of reverse thrust a lot. Just pay attention to that, okay? Little things that you need to do as the pilot, okay, and the owner of the plane, ongoing maintenance. All the hinges are pinch hinge. If I remember right, I think they're all pinch hinge. I don't think they're mechanical. Yeah, that's a pinch hinge. That's a pinch hinge. Yeah, they're all pinch hinges. So pay attention to them. First, year of ownership, you shouldn't have any problem. You fly, maybe 30 times that year, you should be fine. But start paying attention to them foam hinges. There's a layer of laminate that's a protection on that hinge. Now, over time, that laminate's going to get brittle and flake off. You'll see it. And then that hinge is going to start drying out, okay? You use a product called Hold the Foam, which is basically, it's this Elmer's glue on steroids. Take you a toothpick and put you a thin bead of that just a thin bead on both sides of that hinge, and that'll create a rubbery type replacement hinge that will keep your hinge good and healthy for a long time. I got several videos on that. I'll put a link to one of them in this video. Just not too much. If you use too much, it'll do just the opposite. It'll break the hinge. So just a real thin layer. Okay, well there you go, folks. That is the PITTS. That was our speed run. That was just a fun run, a speed run fun run. How about that? Folks, thank you so much for watching. Camera Precious, thank you for filming, baby. I love you so much. And viewers, we love you all for coming by and seeing what this fat guy is all about. God bless y'all. FMS, thank you for the PITTS. Thank you for giving me this opportunity and putting your trust in me to review your planes. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good, and don't forget, folks, faith, family, and friends, and then PITTS. Bye-bye.